Hi, I'm Tiffany Sorochian from Old Dominion Animal Health Center, and I'm here talking with Sergeant Isaac Ho, PE, from the Pentagon Protection Agency Police Force, who is an active member of the McLean community and also is well known in our area and the DC area as one of the courageous figures who rose out of the 9/11. Sergeant Hoopy, where were you when the plane hit the Pentagon?
On September 11, 2001. Myself and, during that time, Lieutenant Wayman was about 2 miles away at Fort Myers at the vet clinic. And the dog was just getting looked at, just a preliminary checkup. Fetal was my first dog. And while we was listening to the radio that one of the vet techs had there, they said, hey, somebody crashed a plane in the Twin Towers. So one of the vet techs, man, these people can't drive. They thought it was just a regular commercial pilot. And then about a couple minutes later, the second aircraft hit the Twin Towers. And then at that same time, about 9:37 in the morning, there's a big boom and the ground shook. And then on the radio, our dispatch called out saying, hey, emergency, emergency, this is not a drill. Pentagon just been slammed or hit by an airplane. So myself and Lieutenant Wayman responded back to Pentagon and got there. One of the first officers on the scene. And then started just running to the area where the fire and just the destruction of pieces all over the ground. Big hole, a lot of smoke. People kept gradually popping out from, broken windows and some of the doors that blew off, I guess, on the impact of the plane. And just started running in and grabbing people and taking them to like a safe area.
What was going on with Vito while you were?
At first, during the first initial part, it's more of just try to assess the situation where, besides knowing that the plane, slammed into the Pentagon, try to help people, and then we had to set up a perimeter for security reasons, and that's when we started using our dogs for sniffing items, vehicles, baggage, packages. So, and he's been working ever since, about six months straight. 24-hour clock. We've been switching off at work between 16 or 18 hours during shifts. But most of the time, we had 2 different shifts. We had like 9, 10, 12 dog teams working continuously for the next 6, 7 months straight.
Wow. One of the news reports that followed right after quoted several people who said that they heard your voice through the smoke and the haze and panic, and that's what let them out. What was going through your mind as you're running into the building that everybody's running out of?
I guess doing the type of work, being a law enforcement, serve and protect, mainly just trying to save or help people that was calling out for help. As the rushing and smoking area, the walls just caved in, a lot of that electrical, water sprinklers going off, and jet fuel is like, it's a jelly substance, but it's so hot you can't see it, but it was the heat. And while rushing in, grabbing people coming out from black smoke, just threw them on my shoulders, took them to a safe area. He started building a triage area. And then while rushing back in, that's when I started using my voice. Hey, is anybody here? Because I couldn't go close to the fire, I'll be a casualty. But I kept yelling, hey, is anybody around? Can you hear me? Then I heard people calling out, really crying and yelling for help. And then that's when I started screaming, hey, come towards my voice, head towards my voice. I'm over here. Gradually, somebody popped up from the black smoke, threw her on my shoulders, took her out, came back to the same area, started calling out again. I didn't hear anyone, so continuing in the building itself to different other location. And then 2 weeks later, that's when on national television, I guess, on the Washington Post, this guy named Wayne Sinclair was looking for the person that he thinks that, you know, was calling out, that used his voice. And some of the key investigations that they were doing, you know, there's a lot of people came at the Pentagon for rescue and help. But there's some key things that the investigator left out, that she was asking people who was at what location. And one was, what Wayne told her is that there was a big burly guy. Yeah, I know. Second was the location where he was at. Because she asked where was I, and I told her quarter 4 area. And then last but not least was the tone of my voice. He said he heard a certain accent. I'm originally from Hawaii, so during not crisis, but all the different languages came out during that time. Speak all in Hawaiian and English. So he kind of like put it all together, and it was funny. Because the location where he was about 30 feet away, about 30 feet away from me, but we couldn't see each other. There was a total of 8 of them, but 7 of them crawled out. The 8th person decided to go different route and make it out. But that's where I guess Wayne and I, you know, we met each other. Again, he didn't come out and say anything because he was in a burn center for about 3 weeks to kind of put everything together. That's all.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's so nice. So I know that part of your job before 9/11, one of the things that stands out to me is that there's no way we could have ever anticipated something like this, you know, to happen. It was unheard of. And so I know you prepare for emergencies, but had you had any kind of training or preparation for something of this magnitude?
Well, besides going to the academy, I mean, we always have in-service, that's in-house training. Believe it or not, 2 years prior, like in 2000, we usually have in-service training, and one of it is like a round table. A round table can discuss about certain type of critical incidents that would happen, and the instructor that was teaching, you know, so happy to talk about a plane, and everybody thought, that's crazy, you know, who knows, 3 years later, or 2 years later, something like this happened. And you never can prepare except, you know, besides having the training that you have, but, you know, anybody who chose this type of profession is, you know, to either serve and protect. You know, I'm more of a community person, community service, and then everything else, I guess just human nature. There's an old saying in law enforcement, you fight or flight.
Yeah.
Either you're there to serve and help, or, you know, and everybody, you know, has a different motive to be in this type of work. Because, you know, I know some people just froze up, or some people just astonished, thinking they can't believe something like this happened. But again, the training from the academy and knowing that just human nature, you can try to react and try to help, especially something. Yeah, exactly. So.
And this is 10 years later. Peter's not with us anymore, but he did spend the rest of his golden years with a good family.
Yes, he did. Well, Vito retired soon after 9/11. Apparently, for most of the dogs that was working, either rescue dogs or some type of dogs at New York and the Pentagon, their life expectancy was kind of short. Either they had got sick or just overburdened with work. But Vito got to retire, and 2 years later, you know, he passed on at home in his sleep. But I know most of the dogs that was working at on 9/11, a lot of them had issues where either from stress, overwork, or they just got sick.
Well, I would like to thank you for taking a few minutes to look back on that day, which was horrible for our whole country, but also thank you for being a bright spot in that, something that we can look back on and be proud of. Your courage and your selflessness is really amazing. We're happy to have you as a neighbor.
I really appreciate it. And I also thank you guys taking care of all our dogs. This kenneled here in Old Dominion.
We love them.
And all working dogs here. Thank you.
Thanks, Sergeant.
Thank you.